I spent 11 years at my company, pouring my heart and soul into my work. I started at the bottom and climbed my way up, earning promotions, respect, and what I thought was job security. I dedicated more than a decade of my life to this place, so when my direct boss called me into his office one Friday afternoon, I thought it was just another routine meeting. I couldn't have been more wrong. He sat me down, couldn't look me in the eye, and mumbled something about restructuring and new directions. Then came the words I never expected to hear. "We're letting you go." I was stunned. 11 years, just gone. No warning, no performance issues, just a cold, impersonal dismissal. I asked why, and all he could offer were vague corporate phrases that meant nothing. It felt like a betrayal. I had given so much, and this was how it ended. I packed my desk in a daze, said my goodbyes to colleagues who were just as shocked as I was, and walked out of that building for the last time, feeling completely numb. The weekend was a blur of confusion and anger. I replayed that conversation over and over, trying to make sense of it. What did I do wrong? Was it something I said? My confidence was shattered. My identity was so tied to my job, and without it I felt lost. The financial anxiety was immediate, but the emotional toll was far worse. It felt personal, like a direct attack from a boss I had worked under for years. Then on Monday morning, my phone rang. It was an unknown number, but I answered it anyway. The voice on the other end said, "Hello, this is from HR. We need you to come in." I was confused. Come in for what? To sign more papers? The HR manager sounded tense. She just said, "Please, just come in. There's been a situation." So I drove back to the office, my stomach in knots. I walked past the reception, and the air was thick with tension. I was led into a large conference room, and sitting at the table were two members of the senior management team. The big bosses, people I rarely interacted with directly. My former boss was nowhere in sight. One of the senior managers looked at me, his expression serious. He said, "First of all, we want to apologize. We just found out what happened on Friday." He explained that my direct boss did not have the authority to fire me. The decision was made unilaterally by him, without consulting or getting approval from anyone in senior leadership. They had been looking at the termination paperwork that morning and were completely blindsided. Apparently, my boss had some kind of personal issue with me, something I was never even aware of, and he took matters into his own hands. The senior manager continued, "Your performance has been exemplary. You are a valuable asset to this company, and we had no intention of letting you go. What he did was a massive overstep and a breach of company protocol." They then made me an offer I never saw coming. They didn't just offer me my job back, they offered me a promotion. They wanted to create a new role for me, one with more responsibility and a significant pay raise, reporting directly to them. As for my old boss, he was called into a meeting right after they spoke with me. I later heard through the grapevine that he was given a choice: resign immediately or be fired. He chose to resign. The company couldn't risk keeping a manager who would act so recklessly and unethically. It was a shocking turn of events. In the span of a few days, I went from being fired and hitting rock bottom to getting a promotion and seeing the person who wronged me face immediate consequences. The experience taught me a few powerful lessons. First, office politics can be unpredictable and often have nothing to do with your performance. Sometimes, people in power make decisions based on their own insecurities or personal grudges. It's a harsh reality of the corporate world. It also showed me the importance of having your value recognized by people beyond your direct supervisor. My reputation and the quality of my work were known higher up the chain, and that's what ultimately saved me. If my contributions had been invisible to senior management, the story could have ended very differently. And finally, it taught me about resilience. That weekend was one of the darkest I've had in my professional life. It felt like a complete failure. But holding on, not burning bridges, and showing up to that Monday meeting changed everything. It's a reminder that sometimes a situation that looks like the end is actually the beginning of something much better. It proved that while one person can try to tear you down, your true worth will eventually shine through. My career didn't end that day. It was just a dramatic, unexpected detour to a better destination. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It was a wild ride, and I hope it offers some perspective or even a bit of hope if you're ever in a tough spot at work. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.